Kelakasla, greetings. Welcome to Sasquatch Island's first video for the YouTube channel, Sasquatch Island. My name's Tom Seawood. I'll be your host and Indian guide as I share with you a little bit about what is Sasquatch Island. Well, for starters, we indigenous people of Canada, United States, have referred to North America as Turtle Island for tens of thousands of years because apparently from space, and as we know with maps, and satellites, it looks like a turtle. The Aleutian Islands a flipper, the Labrador, Newfoundland a flipper, Hudson's Bay in northern Canada, the mouth, the body being Canada, United States, the Baja Peninsula being a flipper, Florida another flipper, the peninsula, and the tail being Mexico and Central America. Who knew? Not going to get into it. This is about Sasquatch, it's not UFOs. So every indigenous North American Indian, First Nations in Canada tribe has stories and names and everything about their Sasquatches they've shared their homelands with since the dawn of creation. And of course, contacting afterwards and even to the modern day, you fellow Americans and Canadians and visitors that come here from time to time, we have our stories about Sasquatch, Bigfoot. So I call it Sasquatch Island, which means North America, because we all have stories and about encounters and sounds and smells and things we've seen or heard. So there you go. That's why I call it Sasquatch Island. What it's all about, though, is I came to down here to Washington State, to Kent, Washington, about, I guess that was about 12 years ago, and Peggy and I got together, but it wasn't until about 4 or 5 years later that I started spending a lot of time down here and was introduced to the television shows that are out there on Bigfoot, Sasquatch. And I used to look at Peggy and shake my head and go, what do they mean if it exists? Maybe it's out there. There is no if or maybe. Sasquatch on my coffee cup, the Chonacha, as we call it. The mask behind me of Chonacha has been in the Kwakwaka'wakw stories for thousands of years, and to this modern day we bring to life with our regalia of masks and suits on potlatch floors. Our families bring it to life in dance and song, what our ancestors saw and experienced in regards to a Sasquatch, which we call Chonacha. And of course, being a bushman, you know, I was a commercial fisherman, still am all my life, been all over the British Columbia coast, met with numerous people from different communities and different tribes that have their stories that I've talked to about. And in the mid-1990s, when the commercial salmon fishing industry collapsed in the herring seasons, I went into the bush and became a trophy hunting guide specializing in black and grizzly bears for Safari Club International members that would come up and pay my boss to bring them out on a 100-foot yacht, and I would be their Indian hunting guide. And then I did ecotourism, sea kayaking, being a native watchman for 24 years in my tribe's abandoned native village on Village Island at the mouth of Knight's Inlet in the Broughton Archipelago, what I call the Mamleacha traditional territories, my tribe of the Kwakwaka'wakw Nation's world that I lived for decades. And at night I would hear things howling and whooping and whooping and snapping branches and fruit trees while I was trying to sleep, and I would plug my ears and go, la 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 la, Tommy, you don't hear that, go to sleep, because I knew it was Chonacha. And then, you know, I learned that you respect them as we're taught. Don't ever try to harm or kill them. Always abide by the rules that they have in the bush to abide by, like shaking a foliage, throwing things at you, tree banging, leaving cockle shells. What is a cockle? Right here. That's a type of clam called the cockle that grows in the Pacific Northwest and Alaska, and it's the favorite food of the Chonacha and the buckwis, the little creature here. But we won't get into that right now. But, you know, you'd always know they're around. And I learned that just don't disrespect them, as our teaching says. And they leave you be. And, you know, there's different things I'll share with you in Sasquatch Island that I already have in text and pictures and podcasts. And now I'm doing video casts. So, you know, it's my world, my experiences that I'm sharing. But I'm also going to other people. It's not all about me. It's about those other people that I interact with. And with this knockoff GoPro camera that my father gave me and I'm learning to use, I'm going to be bringing video casts. But we're not always going to be in a garage studio with a bunch of my knickknacks and native regalia. It's going to be going out into the areas of the Pacific Northwest and showing you places where I've had experiences. Hopefully show you some casts or some tracks, maybe even fire the cameras up at night when we're hearing the whoops and the hollers and the screams, and hopefully if we do get it on camera, great, we'll share it with all. There's things out there that, it's hard to describe in text. It'd take me forever. And everyone says, write a book, write a book. Well, I'd rather be investigating right now. My knees are still allowing me to get about in the forest, so I'm going to keep going out and carpe diem, seize the day. This summer of 2020, I'll be leaving in probably the 10th of July to go back to Canada to jump on my commercial salmon seine boat and go all over coastal British Columbia in pursuit of salmon. I'll probably go to Clem2 where Les Stroud went. But I'm going to go there and go sit with my friends and drink coffee and tea and record them, if they allow me, about their encounters with the books up there. That's what they call the Sasquatch, if I remember right. I might even end up as far north as just south of the Alaska Panhandle border in Prince Rupert and Port Simpson and Hartley Bay and all those places that have all the fellow First Nations and fellow fishers that I can sit down with and hear their stories and record them for you to enjoy as well. But I'm also going to be going ashore, going to places where very few humans ever get to go to. There's places like Jump Across Creek, East Higgins Pass, mouth of the Skeena River, Ona River, Kitkatla area, Porcher Island. The list goes on. Places that very few ever get to go see. I've been there as a commercial fisherman, poking around, looking. I've heard the stories from those areas. I never had any encounters, but that one that's recorded in John Green's book and others, Kuntz Inlet, is at the top north end of what the name is that long narrow place. Anyway, it's up by Prince Rupert. I went in there because I read the story of an encounter there. I went in there on a small boat some 25 years ago. Felt like something was watching me. Found a bunch of broken cockle shells on the beach at high tide, evidence of Sasquatch activity. So these are places I've been to before and others I haven't been to yet, but I'm going to go forth. Sasquatch Island. It's all about trying to get conclusive proof with video and cameras and audio equipment and hopefully getting that Diane Fossey, Jane Goodall interaction going. I know we've been trying for quite some time on my 5 cabins that look like native style longhouses, big houses on Vancouver Island. It used to be my sea kayak camp to paddle with orcas. Now we use it mainly for Sasquatch expeditions, our own investigations. I don't call it research because we don't have a subject cooperating with us yet. But we've had some very good encounters at the 5 cabins I have. So, a lot of people phone me and go, God, I wish I could do that. Well, SasquatchIsland.com, the banner up above on my shirt. Whoop, whoop, get out there with us. It's costs money to buy these things called FLIRs and these FLIR devices here that fit on the bottom of your Android or your iPhone that we use. Trail cameras, gasoline. It costs money, so yes, I've been a tour operator for whales, grizzly bears, sea kayaking, and basically Aboriginal Indian adventures in British Columbia for well over 2 decades. Well, I believe that the multi-million-dollar whale watch and grizzly bear watching industry, Sasquatch is the next one coming, because once we have conclusive proof, mark my words, millions will want to come see it. So that's why I'm in it. I'm in it as a pioneer to hopefully see some of my fellow First Nations who are struggling to pay bills and put food on their tables in isolated and semi-isolated communities throughout British Columbia because of poor economy and everything else. I'd like to see them be able to do Sasquatch tours in their traditional territories for people, because I know a lot of us North American Indians have been hiding what's actually been taking place in our traditional territories with Sasquatch. Not me so much, but others. Amazing. Amazing what I've heard. So basically, Sasquatch Island is about educating you, entertaining you, hopefully enthralling you when we get Sasquatch on video. Gotta cross our fingers that's gonna happen. But most of all, it's for a lot of you that can't come out where we go to come with us on video now. And we'll bring you to these places. High above the timber and the alpines, deep in the fjords and inlets of Pacific Northwest, in up logging roads, hundreds of miles, winding, twisting, middle of Timbuk, flipping nowhere. And hopefully you'll be enjoying what we have to share with you, which is basically my life and my friends' lives, Peggy's lives, that we are adventurer explorers and Sasquatch investigators, and it's time for us to start sharing more with you. So, Sasquatch Island, this is the first video I've done for the YouTube channel that I cursed and swore for an hour and a half and finally hooked it up, and hopefully everything works. But don't forget, I need you to be like a Sasquatch. Chatter, chatter, chatter. I need you to chatter with other people about Sasquatch Island Facebook group, YouTube channel, website, and what we're doing. And hopefully more people will join, and hopefully some of you will come on expedition adventures with us. And be safe out there though in your explorations, and please, by all means, give me a jingle. If you go to Sasquatch Island's Facebook group, you'll see my email and numerous posts. I usually put it at the end, tom.sewid@gmail.com, tom.sewid@gmail.com. And you'll also see my phone numbers there from time to time. I have a U.S. phone from when I'm down here visiting with my partner Peggy here in Kent, Washington. And when I'm in Canada, you can reach me on my Canadian cell, 604-724-7325. Just about forgot that. It's been so long since I've been in Canada, 3 weeks. But anyway, keep in touch with me. Hopefully some of you bag and tag some crispy video and pictures. And for you people that do have crispy video and pictures, quit being so selfish. Share it with us. You know, go to an investigator. They're all over the place. We're all over the internet as well. And, you know, you don't have to have your name or place or whatever, but, you know, we need to get it out there so that we can start looking at, you know, maybe we have to protect their environment, which is our environment. Who knows, you know. Don't want to go as extreme as the spotted owl and marbled murrelet, but, you know, we might want to look at some areas to say, okay, there's been a lot of activity reported. Maybe we should shut it down for logging and mining and so forth and urban sprawl. And speaking of urban sprawl, for you people that live at the edge of the urban environment and you find that something has been amiss on your property at nighttime because you have chickens, ducks, goats, sheep, horses, cows, or just fruit trees and compost bins, and something's been up. Doesn't look like it was a bear or a raccoon or a pig in some places. Possibly a Sasquatch, because in my investigating of late, I found that there's been a lot of activity on the edge of the urban environment. The Sasquatches doing the number one thing, accessing seasonal high accumulation of protein at night with the less amount of energy expelled to get it. And what better way than the human produced proteins that we have on our properties in our yards. So keep an eye on that. You know, it might not be that what you think it is. It might just be a Sasquatch. Call in an investigator. There's many of us, and throughout North America, Sasquatch Island, and we'll be able to help you. But I thank you very much. Look forward to sharing with you many more adventures about Sasquatch and places as we go. And we'll also be showing you the traditional native dancing in the regalia from the different tribes as things progress. And if you have something that you want us to come share with others on video, by all means, get a hold of me, and we'll come and visit you and make our best attempt to do that. I thank you very much, and I look forward to meeting many of you in the coming months and years. In my language, halakulasla. Go in peace. Thank you very much for listening to Sasquatch Island.